Germany, 1933. The world watched in horror as Adolf Hitler rose to power, transforming a nation into a brutal totalitarian regime. Behind the Führer stood a cadre of influential and ruthless leaders, each playing a pivotal role in the orchestration of tyranny and genocide. This is the story of the leaders of Nazi Germany. This is the story of how power, ideology, and evil conspired to change the course of history forever. Chapter 1. Adolf Hitler the Führer. Born in 1889 in Braunau am Inn, Austria, Adolf Hitler's early life was marked by struggle and failure. An aspiring artist, he found his true calling in the political turmoil of post-World War I Germany. Hitler's rise from a failed artist to the dictator of Germany is a story of ruthless ambition and unmatched propaganda. Hitler's charismatic oratory and exploitation of economic woes allowed him to rally a desperate nation around his vision of Aryan supremacy and German nationalism. His ability to mesmerize crowds and manipulate public opinion was unparalleled. Once in power, Hitler quickly moved to consolidate his rule. He dismantled democratic institutions, crushed opposition, and established a police state. His vision of a racially pure empire led to aggressive expansionism and the onset of World War II. Chapter 2. Heinrich Himmler, the architect of genocide. Heinrich Himmler, born in 1900, was initially a poultry farmer before becoming one of the most feared men in Nazi Germany. As head of the SS and chief architect of the Holocaust, Himmler's meticulous planning and unyielding brutality left an indelible mark on history. Himmler was obsessed with racial purity and the occult. His SS became the instrument of terror, enforcing Nazi ideology through murder and repression. The creation of concentration camps and the implementation of the final solution were driven by Himmler's fanatical vision. Himmler's legacy is one of unparalleled cruelty. Under his direction, millions of Jews, along with other perceived enemies of the Nazi state, were systematically exterminated. Chapter 3. Joseph Goebbels, the propaganda master. Joseph Goebbels, the Minister of Propaganda, was the mastermind behind the Nazis' powerful and pervasive propaganda machine. Born in 1897, Goebbels was a failed novelist who found his true talent in manipulating public perception and opinion. Goebbels' genius lay in his ability to craft compelling narratives that glorified the Nazi regime and demonized its enemies. His use of media, film, and mass rallies turned Hitler into a messianic figure and instilled the principles of National Socialism into the German populace. Goebbels' propaganda not only fueled the war effort but also played a crucial role in perpetuating the Holocaust. His relentless campaign of anti-Semitic rhetoric dehumanized Jews and justified their extermination. Chapter 4. Hermann Göring, the power behind the throne. Hermann Göring, a decorated World War I flying ace, became one of Hitler's closest allies and most influential leaders. Born in 1893, Göring's charisma and military prowess earned him a place at the heart of the Nazi regime. Göring was instrumental in consolidating Nazi power. As the head of the Luftwaffe and Hitler's designated successor, he wielded immense influence. His role in the establishment of the Gestapo and the orchestration of the war economy made him a key architect of Nazi Germany's militaristic ambitions. Göring's downfall came with the failure of the Luftwaffe and the eventual defeat of Germany. His trial at Nuremberg revealed the extent of his involvement in Nazi war crimes and the plundering of Europe's resources. Chapter 5. Rudolf Hess, the enigmatic deputy Führer. Rudolf Hess, born in 1894, was one of Hitler's earliest supporters and a key figure in the Nazi hierarchy. As deputy Führer, Hess was deeply involved in the party's internal affairs and ideological shaping. Hess is perhaps best known for his mysterious solo flight to Scotland in 1941, an attempt to negotiate peace with Britain that ended in his imprisonment. His motivations remain a subject of speculation, adding a layer of intrigue to his otherwise loyal and fanatical adherence to Nazi doctrine. Imprisoned for the rest of the war, Hess's bizarre mission did little to alter the course of history, but remains one of the more curious episodes of the Nazi era. Chapter 6. Albert Speer, the Nazi architect. Albert Speer, born in 1905, was Hitler's chief architect and later Minister of Armaments. His architectural vision helped shape the grandiose image of the Third Reich, while his organizational skills extended the war effort. Speer's architectural projects symbolized Nazi ambitions for a thousand-year Reich. However, his role in the war economy and use of forced labor marked him as complicit in the regime's crimes. At the Nuremberg trials, Speer's expression of remorse and acknowledgement of guilt set him apart from other Nazi leaders. Despite this, his involvement in the exploitation of slave labor cannot be overlooked. Chapter 7. The End of the Third Reich. As the tide of war turned against Germany, the inner circle of Nazi leadership faced their reckoning. Hitler's suicide in April 1945 marked the collapse of the regime he built, but the legacy of his associates lived on through the trials and the memory of their atrocities. The Nuremberg trials were a pivotal moment in international law, establishing accountability for crimes against humanity. The convictions of top Nazi officials highlighted the extent of their responsibility for the Holocaust and the war's devastation. The leaders of Nazi Germany left behind a legacy of horror and destruction. Their stories serve as a chilling reminder of the dangers of unchecked power and the capacity for human cruelty. Thank you for joining us on this journey through one of history's darkest chapters. The stories of these leaders are a testament to the profound impact of leadership, both good and evil, on the course of human events. Remembering the past is essential to preventing such atrocities in the future.